Hi, and welcome to week 3 of public speaking. Trying something a little bit different with the video this week. We're going to be talking this time about ethics, and that will lead into developing your own speech topic for your first presentation. You won't be presenting this week, but it's coming soon. Your required text, you click here, the same as usual, the exploring public speaking text. And there are often times when we're communicating that we have to deal with ethics. What is ethics? Well, if you recall from the chapter, or when you look into the chapter, ethics is making a decision between right and wrong when you have a moral dilemma. So if I'm trying to decide, should I do this or should I do that? Ethics is, how do I come up with that? So we're going to look at some things about ethics because communication needs to be ethical, and especially today's time when so many people can bend things and sway things, and it's difficult to recognize sometimes what is right. So we're going to be looking into that legally, culturally. We're going to understand the difference between plagiarism and correct documentation, ethics as a speaker, and sourcing material. So what do you have to do? We'll get into the ethics activity in a minute. And then in chapter 4, you'll be thinking about topics that interest you and start working to limit the topic because it's more interesting to hear something specific than in general. More about that when we get more into that. This week with the chapter 3 slides, I'm also going to have where you can listen to an audio recording of me going through the slides in case that's something that you like to do. But here's slide chapter 3 and chapter 4. And now let's get on into the assignment. I'm trying Collaborate this week instead of Zoom. The office hours are the same, and it looks like it's on, and it is on, but I'm only going to be online between 9 to 10 and 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. on Tuesday. This may work easier because then you don't have to have a link. You just get into OpenLMS, and it's there with you. Here's the ethics activity. I had a couple people asking me questions about it. Okay. First of all, this says copy and paste your info. Why do I want that? I don't want you to attach a document or give me a link that then will open into a Google Doc. I don't want a link to this because it takes too long. I end up having to download what you write. So I want you to, type it up, write it up, and save it in a document, then copy that, boom, pop it into the discussion board. And this is dealing with ethical dilemmas that we see in the news, that we hear about. There's a lot of disagreement. People are having all kinds of arguments. So what I want you to do is choose a communication issue that creates a dilemma. And you'll go, how do you choose it? Well, you'll go online, you'll do a search, and you'll think about different things that people might be disagreeing about. Might be easy to find. And find one online. It doesn't mean it's an online dilemma. It means that you find it, and then you search for, if you can, one that deals with something about communicating online, but doesn't have to be. That could be something about social media. That could be about unethical news that's being put out there. That could be about those bots that are doxing people. So you cite your sources and give us the URL so that we can pop over and see where you got your source, read about it, and then summarize it in your own words. This is a dilemma about blah, 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 whatever. Then I want you to consider 2 alternatives, action A or action B. So if you chose to do action A, if you said, I'm going to say that the dilemma is this is happening, do we make a law about it or do we keep letting it happen? So action A is I say, yep, we're going to make a law. And action B is going to say, nah, we're not going to do anything. So then would it violate company or professional standards if we made a law in our organization would that violate anything? Or in B, if we didn't make a law, is that violating anything? Who is affected by it and how? And then how would you personally, if you were really handling the dilemma, how would you? If it has been handled in real life, because you may have hit on a real life dilemma, then describe the outcome. You keep it simple, just answer the questions, don't overthink it. and then you'll have your quiz. So that's it for your assignments. But again, be thinking about that public speaking, your first conversation that you're going to have, which will be coming up next week, the narrative. Have a good week and see you soon.